Now we checked in with Alexis Green earlier. Now we're on to Simone. Simone's over on the island. I can barely see her now compared to earlier.
Yeah, Simone, it looks like the rain's picked up and definitely the wind there. What are you feeling?
Hey, John Thomas, Barbie, yes, we're taking care of that right now, but I'm at Bob Hall Pier, and I wanted to bring your attention that we have a red beach flag right there showing that there is high hazard out here. Now, I have seen a few joggers come out here, and again, we want to advise that people don't come out here. The conditions are way too dangerous. I also want to bring your attention that the water out here has made it all the way up to the pavement. Yes, and so we've seen a few cars come in, park, some people walk out of their vehicle to go observe. But again, things are very dangerous right now, so we just want to advise that you stay home. That's the safest place to be, even if you want to get a good view. We have the good view. We'll provide the good view to you. And so I want to show your attention to how high the waves are back there. And you can see where Bob Hall Pier was. And so I'm going to toss it back to Carly.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about the waves and stuff. We also are keeping a close eye on that tornado warning. But first of all, let's go and check out our current wave heights there at the beach. So it's very interesting talking with Simone about how the waves are reacting to this tropical storm. Again, all the strongest winds are on the north side, so we're really getting those swells on the north side. And now our buoys are registering an 11-foot wave there. 12 to 14-foot waves a little offshore are possible as well. The way the waves crash on the beach, once they kind of get over 6 to 8 foot, they do kind of swell up and they kind of get fat, and they kind of rise over and push inland. And so that's kind of why we do have that coastal flood potential. But I guess I was really focusing on that tornado warning, which I want to come back to after I talk with Simone a little bit. But Simone, how much of the beach kind of is with water and or without water?
Right, Carly, I'm glad that you brought that up. I mean, there's barely any sand, any beach left, if you will. There's a lot of erosion going on. I'm still seeing cars come in as we speak, but there's a lot more water than there is beach. So coastal flooding, like you've been mentioning this morning, Carly, is definitely a large issue. Again, we want to stress, stay home. We have the best view of what's going on outside. We want you to be safe. We're here in the elements so that you are best informed.
Simone, I have one more question. Is it possible to kind of estimate how high the waves look out there? I know once they get close to the beach, they're not quite as high, but do you have an estimate of how tall the waves may be?
You know, Carly, I don't have an exact estimate, but when you come back to me, I'll definitely have the answer for you.
Yeah, I know it's really tough without a surfer out there. Not saying I want to see the surfers go to the beach, but when you don't have a head to measure the waves on, it is difficult to tell how high they are. Or even Bob Hall Pier, that was another way to see how high up the pier the waves were getting.